right, so we need to refine the sketch, and the way to do it, let's change the color of our pen first. We're going to do something bright. We'll do something like that. There we go. All right. That look like projection mode. Oh, why is that projecting? That's weird. All right, so next what we need to do is create another layer, and we're going to call it, we'll say refined wireframe. Okay, cool. So now we're in a separate layer, and now we're going to go back. Right now we're in ribbon, we're in custom ribbon, which is what I typically use for laying the sheet metal down, or, just creating a sub D surface. So we're going to go to a point, to a custom stroke mode, and we're using point mode. Okay. All right. So with point, we'll be able to do, all right. Now, this is going to allow us to make clean lines. What we'll do, let's start with, let's see. We'll start with the wheel well. So I'm going to go to the center of the wheel. Let's start with the wheel flat. I said that wrong. Center of the wheel, and we're just going to 3, 4, 5. Okay. Oh, what we need to do now, let's go to our layers. We're going to lock these layers here. That way, this will be the only selectable layer. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to edit this, and I'm going to extrude this line segment here. And we're looking for an even count. So I have the center point. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we need to do the same thing here. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Press enter. So move that a little closer. Now, of course, there's an easier way to do this. Well, a more refined way of doing it, I should say. It involves a little bit more steps, but let's see, it involves actually laying the sheet metal first. So I had to show you all on another tutorial. I'll probably do like a YouTube short or something. Okay, cool. Now what we need to do, we can actually create one wheel flat. Yeah, we can create one wheel flat and then just duplicate it to the rear, so we don't have to overwork ourselves. All right. Now what we need to do is to make sure that it's even. So what I'm doing now is I'm taking my line segment, I'm moving it to the edge of the chassis tire. Now I'm in edit mode, and the way to do that is to hold the segment with this trigger. While you're holding it, you here, I'll show you. Okay, so hold it and then quickly press the edit button on your left controller. There it is. All right, and I'm just moving this over now. Now, there are some portions of the tutorial where I may just do a time lapse. I may just speed it up a bit, because at some point, the instructions become a little redundant. So we need to turn on smart move. There we go. Okay. Okay, good. All right, it's about as even as it's going to get free-handed. The spacing, anyway, between the tire and the wheel well, the wheel flat of the wheel well. Okay. All right. Now what we can do is a duplication, right? And we'll be able to scale it. So what I'm doing now, I'm gonna hold down the tool belt button. And I'm gonna scroll over to selection. I'm gonna select this line segment. And because this is mirrored, the options for your selection is going to be at the mirror point or center line. And now we just, let's do a duplication like that. All right. Now that it's duplicated, we can scale out. We're going to go up and then we're going to go out this way. Okay. All right. So let's do an edit and we need to join these bodies together. Let's see if it'll work. Oh, am I subdivision? Okay, now let's duplicate this selection here. And I'm using the selection tool. And I'm just going to duplicate to the rear. All right. Now they're highlighted. And now we can just move them over. Boom. Now we can look at this. Typically, the rear end and the front end sits up a little bit higher than the rocker for the body side. So that's why I'm kind of moving them up a little bit. Good. So when we go to lay our sheet metal, we can actually use these two segments, I guess as like splines, and we can actually, or rails, and we can actually lay sheet metal along the rails like that. So now what we need to do, let's see. Honestly, that seems a bit low too. So we're gonna, okay, good. We still want ground clearance. And now we need to draw some more. So, boom. So now you can understand why I, and see, that's why I did it like that. It looks like the line segment is sagging, and that's because, let's see, now we need to order. I'll put that over here. Okay, good. All right, now we're going to create another line segment from here. It's about there. And then another one from here. It's there. There we go. Okay, so now we're getting the body side a bit more refined now. Now, here's the thing. As we start finalizing some of our lines, we can actually start taking away some of our line drawing, the line segments from the previous sketch we did. So we're going to lock this layer, and then we're going to unlock this one, and now we can start taking some away. That's going to leave us with a pretty clean sketch here, because that's what we're aiming for. We're refining this so we can. It's going to make it easier to lay the sheet metal down when it's time. So that's why we want to a pretty clean wireframe. Then we're going to go back to our layers. We're going to relock it and unlock the current layer. We're going to get back into it. Now, the cool thing about working in points is that you can actually add and take away points as necessary while you're finalizing your wireframe. So that's a cool little feature. All right, here we go. So what we need to do now, we've gotten, we got some lines going. That's what we want. Now we need to start referencing our sketch. So what we can do now, we're going to make this visible again. And we need to unlock that. We'll be able to move this. We should be able to move it off center line. Let me see. Okay, there we go. All right. So we're moving it off center line. I would just kind of put it back here. It's a pretty simple design. So, and then it's cool too because you can move it around with the sketch and all that. It's cool. You can also separate. Let me see. Yep. Okay, there you go. So it's pretty cool because it can move with the sketch. You know, you're doing it. All right. Let's do some more refining. And let's see. Now, since we're getting somewhere, let's go ahead and we can actually start taking out these previous line segments to clean it up a bit. All right. Now what I'm going to do, this fuchsia is putting a strain on my eyes, so I'm going to change the color to a more subtle color. Yellow actually wasn't bad, so should let me do it. We must not be in the right. Ah, that's why. There we go. Now I'm just holding my trigger. There we go. Cool. All right. That's a lot better. I can, and the yellow looks good against the green backdrop too. So, all right. All right. Let's continue. As a matter of fact, we don't need the initial sketch anymore. So I'm going to go ahead and delete this. And that's going to help simplify our layers too. We don't need a million layers at the start of the project. So let's see. I'm gonna lower this. All right. So according to the sketch here, now we can start really getting into it. I see. So I'm gonna have to delete this line segment. Okay. All right. I'm just figuring stuff out as we. As a matter of fact, let me go ahead and do that now. Okay. There we go. That was kind of distracting. And then naturally, it's going to fall. It's going to do something like that. I'm a, and just a reminder, there are some portions I'm going to just do like a time lapse through, just speed it up, because after so much, it does become a bit redundant. So that's why I'm choosing to do like a time lapse on some of the parts of the video. Oh, and a lot of this is going to be me figuring out, although, like I said, we're not doing like class A surfacing or, anything crazy like that. Yeah, we're not doing any class A. So it's just really trying to get like a theme going. So as a matter of fact, what I'll do, I'll go back to my drawing brush. I'm going to change the color. We'll do, we'll do maybe, no, blue. There's purple. We'll do like purple. Ah, yeah, I guess you can see that. Yeah, why not? So what I'll do then, and this is going to be a gas powered vehicle. So I'm going to have some exhaust pipes like right there. Oh, but what I need to do before I forget, we need to do a layer, do like a little sketch layer or something. So we'll say rough sketch rear, for example, right? So that puts us in the rear of the vehicle. Oh, and now we need to lock this layer so we can work just on this one here. And right now, we're just using this to figure out how the rear end is going to do. Put 'em maybe, let's see, exhaust pipes usually run like that way, so something like that maybe. That okay. Those the exhaust. Then we would need like a place for the license plate. So I'm thinking the license plate will go probably somewhere like that. Uh, yeah. And then we would need, so this would be like the bumper cover down in here. So that means we're going to we need some separation, something like that. A little bit of separation from the bumper to the, so the bumper is going to extrude beyond the rest of the rear surfacing that we have going on. Here we go. We got a little bit of separation. All right. Now, let's see. This part will be, what's this, the tailgate. So we'll want that to come down. The tail lights are going to be sewer up in there. Not quite, I haven't really figured out how the tail lights are going to wrap around, but I imagine it's going to be something like this. Nothing crazy, um, really. Now, the tail light's going to have some shape, so it'll be something like that. So then this part, same thing. Okay. So that's gonna be like the tail lights. Like again, nothing crazy. And then this is the tailgate. Let me see. So maybe something like that. So we got that going on for the rear. So what we need to do is we're going to go back to our custom stroke, and then we're going to do the color. And now we have to go back to our layers. We're going to lock this one and go back to refined wireframe. Now we're going to use uh, points. Oh, okay. Oh, that's right. License plate. You need an area for the license plate. Boom. And then this would be like for the exhaust pipe. Boom. Okay. Now we can unlock this layer, go back here, and we're going to take out our sketch lines. We don't need them anymore. Okay. All right. So we got that going on for the rear of the vehicle. Now, let's see. That'll work. Okay. Cool. All right. So we got the rear of the vehicle. Now the front of the vehicle, uh, still trying to figure that out. Let's see. Okay. So this where the headlight would go. So we're going to have to do some sketching up here too. So let's go back to our layers. As a matter of fact, since we're done, oops. All right. Since we're done with this, honestly, we can go back to our rough and we're going to lock the refine wireframe. We can go back to our rough and just rename it. So it'll be FRT for front. And we are in this layer. Now we can go back here. We're going to do a custom brush. And then we're going to change the color back to pearlescent purple. All right. So for the front end, we can get a little creative. We'll do like a front splitter. All right. And now let's see. This is a front engine ice. So we're going to need some air inlet. So it will help to have like a grill. Uh, it could be so maybe something like that. Of course, it's going to be some crown to it. Or we could leave. Well, yeah, there's going to be some crown to it. Uh, that'd be our air inlet. Honestly, we could just have the lower and probably just leave this like that. maybe clean it up a bit. Um, I know typically there's an upper grill and a lower grill, especially for the radiator. If you run in a radiator like right here, and or you can have air ducts that direct airflow to the radiator and also to the engine intake. Um, so yeah, we have some options. It helps to know the anatomy of a car or just a vehicle in general, because that also plays a role um, with design and the sculpting and everything. So just knowing where everything at is, on the car, it helps to make the design make sense, right? That's why we had to raise the roof line because the occupants obviously they have to sit in the vehicle and they have to be able to see out of it too, right? So it's just stuff like that. It has to make sense. There we go. Cool. All right, that'll work. And then headlights, uh, all that. We can figure that out. Cool. All right. So the car, honestly, to me, is ready for sheet metal. I'm gonna lock in some of these features here. Let's stick with the yellow. All right. So I'm going to lock this and go back to refine sketch. Choose yellow, and we're going to use the custom stroke. And now we're going to finalize this as well. All right. Yeah, that'll do. And now we can go here. We're going to lock this, go back to this layer, and we're just going to start deleting the purple pearlescent lines I had in. So yeah, that'll be for like our front end. It's nothing crazy. It's just something to, get some motion going. So let's see. And like I said, the picture up there is just a reference more than anything. I kept most of the design elements that I have. I kept them within this design here, and the front end I changed up a little bit, but it's you still get the point. All right, we have our luxury sedan. Now we can start laying some sheet metal. This is where it gets fun. All right, so let's see next. Yep, okay. All right, yeah, I think we're ready for sheet metal. That will conclude our segment. I thank you all for joining in, and I hope you all tune in to the next segment where we will start working on our body, our sheet metal, and we will be using subdivision to conjure up our sheet metal. Again, I hope you all enjoyed. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. This is Mozario with Mozario Design, and until next time.